Welcome back to Grade 10 Mathematics for Term 2. I am Miss Awinop, your maths teacher. Okay, so in Term 1, we looked at Pythagoras and we looked at trigonometry. Bearings was one of the topics under trigonometry. But we are moving on to the next unit, which is algebra. Okay, now what is algebra? Okay, algebra. Now, what is algebra? Algebra is the use of letters to represent unknown values in an equation. Okay, now we're going to first look at frequently used terms in algebra. You've already learned this in grade 7, grade 8, and you've also reviewed it in grade 9. So we're just going to go through that again and before we move on to solving equations. All right, so the first term, and we are writing it up, is the word term. But in mathematics, what do we mean? Now, it is used to describe the algebraic value. For instance, all right, we have 3x, or we can say 2y. Now, this number in front here can also be negative. So let's write that down. All right, so a term is a number and a letter, okay? It is a product of 3 and x, so we say 3x, or a product of 2 and y, we say 2y, all right? So this is a term. Now, the number in front of the pronumeral, okay, is referred to as the coefficient, okay? The coefficient. What do we mean by coefficient? It is the numeral value in an algebraic term, all right? The numeral value. So we can say for 3x, 3 is coefficient of x, all right? Or we can say 2 is the coefficient of y. Or negative 2 is the coefficient of x, okay? Now, another term that's usually used is algebraic expression, all right? Algebraic expression. Now, what do we mean by an algebraic expression? Now, an expression can be made up of 2 or more terms, all right? Terms. So we can say 3x, let's say this is an example, plus 2y plus 4. This is an algebraic expression made up of 1, 2, 3 terms, okay? Now, a numeral value can also be a term. The difference here is there is no pronumeral attached to this number, okay? Now, another term is an algebraic equation. Okay, an algebraic equation. Now, an algebraic equation is made up of algebraic terms, but it has an equal sign in it. So we can say 3x plus 2y plus 4 equal to 6. Okay, this is an algebraic equation because it contains an equal sign. All right? Now, another thing we should remember is like terms and unlike terms. If you look at our equation, 3x and 2y are unlike terms because x and y are not the same. Okay? If we had two values or two terms, say 2x and 3x. Now these are like terms because they both have x as the pronumeral value. Okay, so remember term, coefficient, algebraic expression, algebraic equation, like terms and unlike terms. All right, now we are going to look at solving equations. Now you've already solved simple equations in grade 7 and also in grade 8. You did this again in grade 9. But we're going to look at a certain type of equation. This equation contains fractions. Okay, so we'll put up one of these equations and we're going to solve this together. And hopefully you will remember some of the things you've already learned. Okay, now let's look at the equation x plus 1 over 4, all right, plus x plus 3 over 5, okay, equal to 1. All right. Now, this is an algebraic fraction. All right. It is an equation with algebraic fractions. All right. So, we have one fraction here made up of algebraic terms, x here, and another fraction here with an algebraic term. Now, how do we solve this? Remember, when you're solving equations in algebra, you want to find out the value of that unknown. Okay? So, before you solve this, you need to remove the denominator. How do we do this? You need to identify the lowest common multiple. All right? You've learned this. LCM is the lowest common multiple. Between 4 and 5, the lowest common multiple is 20. Okay, so what do we do with the LCM? We are going to multiply the LCM by each term in the algebraic equation. All right, so x plus 1 over 4 is one term, x plus 3 over 5 is another term, and 1 is also a term. So we multiply LCM by each term. All right, so let's do that. 20 multiplied by x plus 1 over 4 plus 20 multiplied by x plus 3 over 5 equal to 20 times 1. Okay, so we've multiplied the LCM by each term. Now we need to simplify to remove the denominator. Okay, so 4 divided by 4 is 1. 4 into 20 goes 5 times. All right. We have 5 into 5 goes once. 5 into 20 goes 4 times. Okay. Once we've simplified or removed the denominator, we need to rewrite what is left. So we have 5 times x plus 1 plus 4 times x plus 3 equal to 20. All right. So once the denominator is removed, we rewrite what is remaining. And you notice that our brackets are still in the equation. We need to remove those brackets. So how do we do that? You've already learned this. You multiply the term outside the brackets by each term in the brackets. Okay, so 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 3 is 12 equal to 20. Okay, now that we've removed the brackets, we are going to collect the like terms. Okay, so we have in our equation 5x and 4x are like terms, and 5 and 12 here are also like terms. Okay, so let's see. Let us collect those like terms. We have 5x plus 4x plus 5 plus 12 equal to 20. All right? So we brought those like terms together. Let's see how our simplified equation will look. We have 9x plus 17 equal to 20. Okay? So once we have this equation, we are going to bring 17 across so that we can find the value of x. So 9x is equal to, we're taking 17 across, so we subtract 20 minus 17. All right? So we have 9x equal to 3 remaining here. To find the value of x, we are going to divide by 9. So x is equal to 3 divided by 9, which is therefore equal to 1/3. Okay? So from the original equation, x plus 1 over 4 plus x plus 3 over 5 equal to 1, the answer is 1/3. Okay? X is equal to 1/3. That's the value of the unknown. Now we can check the answer to see if it is correct. All right? So let us do that. All right. We will use the simplified equation of 9x plus 17 equal to 20. So 9x plus 17 equal to 20. 1/3 is written in place of x. So 9 times 1/3 plus 17 equal to 20. Okay. Now 9 times 1/3, we multiply 9 times 1, which is 9, divided by 3, your answer is 3, plus 17 is equal to 20. Okay? Now, you will see that 3 plus 17 is 20, and 20 is part of the equation. That shows that this equation is balanced, and therefore 1/3 is correct. All right? Now, this brings us to the end of the lesson. I hope you understand a little bit more about solving equations. Now, something interesting. Algebra was already practiced, all right, by the ancient Babylonians. They actually represented symbols or numbers with symbols, okay? But it only became part of formal mathematics in about the 17th or 18th century, which is about 600 years ago. Quite interesting if you think about it. All right? So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. I'll see you in the next lesson when we see how equations are related to graphs. Okay. See you next time.